Hello, learners. How are you today? I do hope that you're doing your best. Now we are on our first lesson of Quarter 1, Health 8, Gender and Human Sexuality. The Gender and Human Sexuality class is designed for you teenagers to understand the complexities of gender and sexuality, including differences between gender identity, expression, and sexual orientation, and how suicidal norms impact our understanding of these topics. So, this lesson aims to equip you students with knowledge to navigate relationships, social interactions, and personal identity. Adolescence, like you, has been described as the period in life when an individual is no longer a child but not yet an adult. It is a period in which the individual undergoes enormous physical and psychological changes. Some of these changes that are very observable are the onset menstruation for the female and the development of bald voice for the males. So, this period may also bring many issues and concerns that teenagers like you might be curious about and might have a great influence on your lives. So, one of these issues is human sexuality. Now, let's define human sexuality according to the book. So, human sexuality is very complex. It is defined as a state of a person's ability to express his or her sexual orientation and preferences. It is more than physical expressions and sexual organs. It is the totality of a person's expression of being a male or female. So, the way you behave, how you express yourself, and how you react and interact with all the things around you, including your own body, are determined and affected by your sexuality. So, to better understand human sexuality, it is important that you understand some terms that are associated with sexuality. First is the word sex. So, sex is the biological differentiation between male and female as evidenced by the external and internal reproductive parts. So, it is determined right away at the time of fertilization as the chromosomes inherited from the mother and the father combine. So, genetically, a male or a boy has X and Y chromosomes and a penis, while a female or a girl has two X chromosomes and a vagina. Second term that you need to understand is gender. So, gender is a social concept on how men and women should think, feel, and act. So, it refers to the behaviors and attitudes that are expected to be shown based on a person's sex. So, it also refers to the roles and activities that are exhibited by a person as a male or a female as deemed appropriate or proper by the society. So, a person's gender may be classified as masculine or feminine. Now, let's differentiate sex and gender. So, sex is primarily refers to the physical attributes like body characteristics, notable sex organs, which are distinct in majority of individuals. While gender, on the other hand, it is the composite product of attitudes and behavior of men and women. Another differentiation is sex is biologically determined by genes and hormones, while gender it is learned and perpetuated primarily through the family, education, religion, media, you know, etc. Thus, it is an acquired identity. Another is it is relatively fixed or constant through time across culture. And for gender, because it is socialized, it may be variable through time and across culture. Next term is gender equality. So this permits man and women equal enjoyment of human rights. Another is gender roles. So gender roles refers to a set of roles, characteristics, and expectations of how a man or a woman should feel, think, and act as influenced by parents, peers, and society. So this is often an outward expression of gender identity. So now let's discover um, dimensions of human sexuality. So human sexuality is an integration of three dimensions: the biological, physiological, and social-cultural. So the interaction or interactive relationship of these three dimensions describe an individual's total sexuality. Therefore, you need to understand each of these because it will help you understand yourself better. First is biological dimension. So, biological dimension, this is a dimension described by person's biological or physical sexual characteristics as controlled by the sex chromosomes and hormones produced by sexual glands. So, biologically, males and females are being classified by identifying the reproductive parts present in their body. Now, let's go to the male reproductive. So we have the different parts of the male reproductive system. We have the testes or the testicles. So as you can see here, we have in the slide the different parts. So the testes or the testicles is the male gonads. It produces sperm cells. Next we have the epididymis. Now this stores newly formed sperm cells up to a vas deferens. So vas deferens, it is a passageway of sperm cells from the epididymis to the urethra. And we have the penis. So it is a copulatory organ. It transfers the sperm into the female body. Urethra is the passageway of semen, combination of fluid and sperm cells, and urine. Prostate glands is it produces a substance that nourishes the sperm. The seminal vesicle produces fluid that helps in easy transport of sperm, and the scrotum or the sac covering and protects the testes. Okay, let's proceed to the female reproductive system. Female reproductive system, we have the vagina. So this is the birth canal. So this receives the sperm cells from the penis. The cervix is the boundary between vagina and the uterus. Uterus is the mother's womb. So this is the one who houses the developing fetus. And the oviducts or the fallopian tubes. So this is the site for fertilization or the passageway of the egg cell. So the knowledge on biological dimension is very vital. So most people who have proper education on parts and functions of the reproductive system tend to be more cautious in their sexual activities. So class, it is important to emphasize that the main purpose of human reproductive system is for procreation or continuation of human life. So the female's ovaries produce egg cells, and the male's testes produce sperm cells. So when the sperm cell fertilizes, the egg cell or a zygote is formed. And it is the start of a new life, a new human being. Okay, so that is the biological dimension. Now let's proceed to the psychological dimension. So a major psychological factor that affects one's sexual wellness is body image. So a positive body image leads itself to a feeling of overall wellness. While negative self-image can lead to drug abuse or psychological disorders such as anorexia, bulimia, binge eating disorder, and the like. So, persons with a positive body image and a sound mind usually enjoy their sexuality and have a good social relationship with others. And persons with negative body image and insecurity end up being unhappy and failing sexual relationships. Next, we go to the social cultural dimension. So, the dimension of sexuality is the sum of the cultural and social influence it affects thoughts and actions. So, the people surrounding you greatly contribute to your sexuality. So, this includes your family, school, and not neighbor. Also, religious and spiritual beliefs, multicultural, and ethics also influence your sexuality. So, these three dimensions, the biological, physiological, and sociocultural, are integrated factors that influence one's decision or way of thinking relating to sexuality. So, human sexuality is natural and healthy. Oh, this is the end of our topic. So, human sexuality is natural and healthy part of life. Remember that. It includes all the mental and emotional and spiritual characteristics associated with being a male and female. So, it is the most important aspect in masculine or feminine identification. So, sexuality involves the name given at birth, the toys played with, the clothes worn, the friends played with, and the roles and responsibilities at home. Sexuality provides a sense of self worth, and sexual understanding is positive. And that ends our topic for today, all about gender and human sexuality. So, this is only the end of lesson one. So stay tuned for our lesson 2 regarding the topic gender and human sexuality. Thank you so much, class, for watching, and I hope you learned something.